This is a special edition of Kern County in Depth, the 6th Ward, Bakersfield City Council debate between Patty Gray, Titus Stevens, Gregory Tatum, and Jesse Chiata. Your moderators, Jim Scott and Eitan Wallace.
And welcome. Good to have you with us here this weekend for this special edition of Kern County in Depth.
Jim Scott alongside Eitan Wallace. 17 News is your local election headquarters, and tonight our focus is on the 4 candidates running to represent the 6th Ward Bakersfield City Council seat for the next 4 years. You see a map of the district here. This is the ward that encompasses a large swath of southwest Bakersfield. As you see on this map, it is roughly defined by Stockdale Highway to the north, State Route 119, Taft Highway to the south, Stein Road to the east, and Gosford Road to the west.
Now, the winner of this race, of course, will replace Councilmember Jackie Sullivan, who is stepping down from office after serving the 6th Ward with distinction for the past 24 years. Sullivan is Bakersfield's longest-serving council member, so big shoes to fill here. All right, let's meet our candidates moving left to right. Patty Gray is 62 years old. She is a small business owner, married with 3 grown sons. She is a graduate of Taft High School. Jesse Chiata is 22 years old. He's currently employed as a medical assistant at 2 local urgent care centers, which of course are testing for COVID-19 as we speak. Mr. Chiata is single, no children. He's a graduate of UEI College in Bakersfield, where he received a certificate as a medical assistant. Titus Stevens is 41 years old, a resident of Bakersfield for the last 16 years, born and raised in the city of Compton. Mr. Stevens is a telephone technician and repairman and a stand-up comedian. We might need some levity at the end of this. We'll see. He's engaged to be married. He has one son and 4 stepchildren. And Gregory Tatum is 61 years old. He is senior pastor at Change Community Church. He's a community activist who's been focusing on gang and drug violence in our community. Mr. Tatum is married, has 3 children. He holds a PhD in religious philosophy. Mr. Tatum is also a U.S. Army veteran. We thank you for your service, sir, and we thank all of you candidates for making time for us tonight.
All right, so the candidates have been apprised of the rules for tonight's debate, and by a draw of the cards, Mr. Tatum will be first with an opening statement. Mr. Tatum, 1 minute, please.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity, especially to the 6th Ward. I hope to be your next city councilman. I recognize that after 25 years, it's kind of a hard act to follow, but that I will. First of all, as he stated, I am a U.S. veteran. I've served in the United States Army. I was in Germany when the Berlin Wall came down in 1989. I also was involved in working in Bakersfield with Safe Streets with Captain Mullis, as well as current Chief Terry, working with the gang violence task force. I think I'm the only one that is qualified because I'm on boots on the ground currently working in the community, just as of today, working with the homeless situation. We will prove tonight that I am the most viable candidate for Ward 6, and I promise you, I guarantee you, I will not prevent you to assemble together, taking away your First Amendment rights. I promise you that.
Okay, Mr. Tatum, thank you so much. Next, we have Ms. Gray. 1 minute, please, Ms. Gray.
Good evening. Kern County is my home. I was born here, I'm married, and I've raised 3 sons. My husband and I built a construction business, and since 1983, we've employed almost 300 people. Carpenters, electricians, plumbers, salespeople, office managers, subcontractors. It has been our pleasure to be able to serve this community. I know budgets, I know finance. I understand how to run a business, and I understand how to provide for other families. During the recession, our business took a deep dive, and at that time, we still delivered the same quality of product to our customers that we always did without raising prices. I know how to work with less. I understand that this job with the Bakersfield City Council is going to take good business experience, and I have that. I have that to offer you. So I would hope that you could support me. Thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Gray, thank you very much. Mr. Stevens, opening statement, 1 minute, please.
Hi, I am Titus Stevens, and I'm running for City Council because when I look around the race, I don't see anyone that's like me running in the race. And when I say that's like me, I mean a person that had got up for the past 23 years earning a living. A person that actually has to use the policies that's made as a resident, as a voter in my community. When I listen to the fellow candidates on the stage, it sounds like they don't even live in my ward when they talk about the problems that's in the ward. I'm here every day. I talk to people. I'm out there with boots on the ground. I feel like if you vote for me, you will have your voice heard, not my vision, your vision. And that's what we need right now. We need your vision to lead Bakersfield into the future, not mine. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Stevens, thank you. And finally, Mr. Quijada, your opening statement, please. 1 minute.
For far too long, our development and prosperity has been held back. It is time that we look to elect someone who will be there each and every day to fight for the people. And we do have a good field of candidates on here. And you can tell by their message that they are strong and passionate about what they want to do for the city. And together we have come together with a lot of ideas that will put Bakersfield on a better path forward. But I'm running because I feel with the skill set I have earned and lived by all my life through public service at every level of government and through national service, I know that we can put Bakersfield on a better path forward, address the issues, and make sure that we can make this city shine again. Thank you.
All right, candidates, thank you very much. Let's go to some Q&A. Shall we? Jesse Quijada, you are endorsed by the Kern County Democratic Central Committee. Patty Gray, you are endorsed by the incumbent, who is a staunch conservative. Your campaign is managed by Kathy Abernathy with Western Pacific Research, very influential GOP consulting firm. And full disclosure, Kathy Abernathy is a longtime political analyst for us on 17 News. My question is for both of you. If elected, will you vote the party line on issues before the council, or will you act independently of your party? Let me start with you, Ms. Gray, first. 1 minute, please.
Well, first of all, I'm very, very honored that Kevin McCarthy, Shannon Grove, Vince Spong, Cynthia Zimmer, that they would all support me. But this is a nonpartisan race that we're talking about, and the city council is only made up of 7 votes. So we have to work together to find solutions for this city. It's not Democrat against Republican. This is a race that we need to all come together and keep Bakersfield the beautiful city that it is. So no, I won't be voting party line, only based on my own research and my own decision making. But I am very grateful for my party.
Thank you, Ms. Gray. Mr. Quijada?
I couldn't agree more. The position of a city council member shouldn't be held strictly by what party you hold. It should be what you want to do to fix this city. And you, like Patty said, you will have to work with your other members on the council. And it is crucial. I've seen it firsthand working in the state legislature, in municipal governments, and even in the halls of Congress. It's crucial, and this is how we get things done. Bakersfield is going through one of the toughest times that was unpredictable to anyone in this country. And now is the time, more than ever, we must come together to find the solutions that will put Bakersfield on a better path forward.
All right. Mr. Stevens, as Ms. Gray pointed out quite correctly, this is a nonpartisan race. Do you think endorsements carry any weight in this race?
I don't. I haven't gotten any. But no, I did get endorsed by the SEIU 521. I've been endorsed by Farmers Insurance, Mario Mesa. I've been endorsed by Tweed Cadillac Radio, 93 Point Tweed. Not to get that in there. I believe that when Jesse talks about he's not going to vote with the party line, he was one to say that he would defund the police. I think there's certain things that, like you said, city council is nonpartisan. I feel like the average person is nonpartisan. All we want is government to work. So we don't need the partisan bickering between Democrats and Republicans when all we want is to have our city in flux. Ms. Sullivan did a great job. When there was graffiti everywhere, when I first moved in, she did everything to stomp it all out. I think that we need to continue in her legacy, but add little accents and everything that the people want to make this thing happen.
All right. And Mr. Tatum, your thoughts on political endorsements in this race, sir?
I think they're very important. I have the privilege to have with me someone here with the 661 Southwest Carpenters of Bakersfield endorsing my candidacy, as well as Current Island, along with MLK Collaborative, also with Nick Hill. What I like to point out, and you did bring it out so clearly, and when you mentioned about Jackie Sullivan, I did talk with Jackie Sullivan on June 1st, trying to seek her endorsement. And she had already told me that she was endorsing, at the time I didn't know you, Patty, but she said I was endorsing someone. And he said, but you know what, Pastor Tatum, the only thing that I regret about the person I'm endorsing is that she's not African American. And I said, well, it should make a difference. She said, I wish she was black. And I was taken aback when she said that, because I don't know if she was trying to appease me or try to patronize, which is very insulting to African Americans. And I didn't know you at the time she didn't mention your name, but that's why I don't take your candidacy serious. I take it as something as passing the baton. You could put bookends of Kevin McCarthy or Shannon Grove on each end, but that's not transferable.
All right, and Dr. Tatum, thank you very much for that. Everybody, thank you for discussing that. You mentioned the idea diversity there. All right, so we're going to stick with that topic for a moment. How important is diversity when it comes to the 8 people who represent the city of Bakersfield on this council? And Dr. Tatum, we will begin with you.
It's very important. We've been stifled out. We've been suppressed. I ran a race against Shannon Grove back in 2018. I was at an event, was an all African American event at the Marriott. We were inviting Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, there, and he decided to talk about civil rights. They had her name everywhere, and I was asked, could I speak, and I was suppressed. They said you couldn't speak. I was invited to another African American event, and I told I couldn't speak. Since I've been involved in politics, I've been suppressed behind the big machine that's supporting Ms. Gray. And it's a gray area. I want you to understand this is real serious. I'm very conservative, but yet no support. And it's the same way down the line. So yes, it's very important that we see people of color, and I think this nonsense needs to stop, and it needs to come to a head this year in this ward.
Okay, Mr. Stevens, 1 minute, please.
I do think diversity is important. I think we need to get away from what I call the Al Sharpton politics. I don't think the race issue is as big a problem in Bakersfield as I would see in other areas. I was born and raised in Compton. I see what it's like to have a small thing blown into a molehill, okay? I was there when my police department was defunded. I was there when racial relations was at an all-time high. I don't see that here in Bakersfield. I know there are some parts in Bakersfield, I've worked here, I know there's some parts where you don't want to be there at night if you're of color. But in generalization and talking to people that's actually in my ward and people day to day, I don't see the same thing as far as the blatant racism or the blatant systematic racism of keeping anybody out. When I decided to run for city council, I was not asked or told because of my race to get out of the race from anybody from the opposite race.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens. Mr. Quijada, I'm going to give you the question one more time. How important is diversity when it comes to the 8 people who represent the city of Bakersfield on the council, Mr. Quijada?
Yes, thank you. That is a great question. So the city of Bakersfield is comprised of a multi-ethnicity community, and that's something to be very proud of. We continue to strive with embracing others' cultures, and that is something we must build on each and every day to make this community better. And I believe having that representation on this council is crucial and key to ensuring we're passing legislation and policy that does truly represent the entire city of Bakersfield.
Thank you so much. And Ms. Gray, final word here.
Well, I agree a lot with Tatum here. I think it's really important that we're not looking at color anymore. I think our country is so divided because of this one issue that Bakersfield is very diverse, and I love that about it. And I think it's so very, very important that we represent all cultures. I want to get away from this whole color thing. When I look at these men, I look at men. I don't look at a black man a Hispanic man, I look at men. And when I represent this ward, I'm going to be representing all people. Even though I can't change my skin color, that's not going to happen, but I can represent all people. And I think it's really important that we are choosing our representatives based on their merit and not based on their ethnic background. Merit is number one. And the voters have to decide on that. They have to decide between the four of us who they feel is going to do the better job.
All right, Ken, it's great answers to our questions, and I think that we should send a copy of tonight's debate, a tape of it, to our two presidential candidates, and maybe they could learn something about how to conduct themselves during a candidate's debate. We're at the halfway point in tonight's debate, featuring our candidates for Bakersfield's 6th Council Ward, and we'll be back with more questions for the candidates right after this break.
Prop 21 repeals legal protections for homeowners like me.
This is a lie being told by corporate interests to protect their profits. Prop 21 limits housing costs and prevents homelessness while protecting single-family homeowners. Vote yes on Prop 21.
The Paycheck Protection Program was supposed to be a lifeline for small businesses and workers. But across the Central Valley, businesses were locked out from this critical aid. Guess who didn't get locked out? Millionaire T.J. Cox. Businesses linked to Cox collected up to $1.7 million in federal bailouts, even as Cox owed thousands in unpaid taxes. T.J. Cox takes care of himself, not you. NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I spent 50 years in the music business. I've got stories I can't repeat. I'd still be there if I hadn't gotten sick. Yes, I'm on dialysis, but there are worse things in life. One special interest group, again, is putting my life at risk. And Prop 23 could shut down my clinic. I'm not going to die from dialysis. I'm going to die without it. Prop 23 is dangerous. Please vote no.
To Donald Trump, David Valadao is one incredible guy.
He's been successful all his life. David Valadao.
While in Congress, Valadao's business failed to pay its debts and filed for bankruptcy, leaving Californians with the bill.
He's an incredible guy.
And Valadao's dairy failed to protect workers when dangerous machinery cut off an employee's arm.
We really need him badly in Washington.
Central Valley families can't afford incredible guy David Valadao. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Apocalypse is now. California is in crisis. Millions are unemployed and homelessness is on the rise. Hardworking residents are being forced out of their homes. How much worse can it get? Keep families in their homes. Vote yes on Prop 21 this November.
And welcome back to this special edition of Kern County In Depth, a candidates debate featuring the 4 candidates for Bakersfield City Council, 6th Ward, excuse me. All right, candidates, let's continue with some questions here. Bakersfield has certainly seen its share of tense and at times ugly protests and counter-protests spurred by the recent high-profile cases of African Americans being killed by police in this country. There's a long history of friction between the African American community here and the Bakersfield Police Department. As a representative of the 6th Ward, if elected, what would you do to promote social healing and police reforms in our community? Let's go around the horn on this one, and let me start with you, Ms. Gray.
I think the city has already started that process by getting community members involved in the process of healing. I know our chief is meeting with a group of people that are trying to, sow into, give some ideas, and so that also he can show what he's already doing to bring healing to our community. But I don't think there's any place in Bakersfield for rioting, looting, burning property, hurting other, bodily harm. That's not the city we live in, and I don't want to see that continue on. So yes, we do need to bring healing, but I think, like Tatum said earlier, Bakersfield doesn't have the same kind of problem that we're seeing in Portland and Seattle and New York. It's really, really important that we work together to find solutions. And I think, going back to the diversity question, having that diverse group is really important.
Mr. Chiara?
You know, the number one thing that we can do is bring the police to our community. Sit them down at a discussion table and have them hash out the issues. And that's what we want. I've spoken with both sides of the issue, and they say that's what they want. I've met with local police officers that routinely patrol Ward 6, and this is what they say they are willing to do. And I'm willing to facilitate that, as if I am elected, I will facilitate that conversation with the community and hope to push this divide to an end. The city of Bakersfield is going through trying times just as any other city throughout this nation with its police department. And we must work quickly to address it, more than ever now. Because if we don't, it can continue to get worse, and we as leaders have a responsibility to ensure the safety and protection of all of our citizens.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Stevens, social healing and police reforms, what would you do?
Well, I can only go off of experience. When I was growing up in elementary school, we looked at police as heroes. And I think what we have right now is a lack of respect in my household. See, what I tell my son is that, or my stepson, I tell him that you need to listen to the police and just show respect. They will give you respect if you show them respect. When I was growing up, what made it more acceptable to be a police officer, or made us want to be policed, and what helped our relationship was that when I was in elementary school, almost every Friday, there was a police officer on campus telling us about what it's like to be a police officer. They also brought ex-convicts in. They brought people that had been, like there was a guy that came in, he'd been shot in the head. He was a gang member, right? You saw the damage. The eye was closed, he had scars, he showed us the weapons. And as a kid, I realized I didn't want to live like that. That's not what I wanted for me. And so when I learned to leave my neighborhood, see, I have two uncles that's dead. They're gone before I was even grown. So yes, I would like the police to come to elementary schools, introduce themselves. And I think that would help in improving the relationship, catching the kids before they get to junior high or high school.
All right. And Gregory Tatum, your thoughts, sir?
Yes, we have started talks many years ago with the Bakersfield Police Department now with Chief Terry. I've been in many meetings with him and Chief Lyle about dealing with diversity way before the protests across America had taken place. So we're kind of ahead of the curve. The problem is when we start talking about diversity, you're still avoiding the question. The City Council of Bakersfield does not represent diversity, and that's one of the problems. I think that if we sit down and have meetings and talk about how can we get there and how do we not deal with people that serve money versus having a real viable candidate and a veteran, someone that was in the Army, was over in a place where that Berlin Wall came down, with that separation, the Cold War with the United States and Russia. This is a Cold War. Even I'm a man of faith. She says she's a woman of faith. Faith to me is trusting my brothers and sisters. I was able to talk to the protesters. I engaged them. I had 500 bowing down on their knees to pray. The next day the clergy came and they kind of ran away, but I engaged with the protesters.
Oh, okay, Dr. Tatum, thank you. Now, just a few minutes left on the issue. There are calls to defund the police and reallocate those funds to social, educational, and economic development programs to benefit the African-American community. I want to start with Mr. Quijada here. You were mentioned earlier on this subject. So to clarify now, where do you stand on this issue?
So, you know, the issue of defunding the police, that term, defund, is one that we can say that media has blasted throughout the country, and it's a big fancy term that catches attention as to basically you want to take away all the police's money. It's simply not true. We want to strategically move funding to support the community and the needs to bridge the gap of communication with our police department and directly to the community. It's not taken away, it's just reallocating it to a different department clearly so that the community can hear directly from the police. We're not going to cut patrol officers, we're not going to cut shifts, we're going to keep it the same. It's just using funding that otherwise would be just rolled over into the next fiscal year or fiscal quarter and moving it along. That's what re-strategizing the police's budget is more of, rather than defunding the police.
All right. Okay, so to clarify though, you would
Yes.
not cut from police funding, you're saying?
We're not going to take away completely and move it to another city department. We will keep it within to have the city's police department reallocate it to purposely meet the community's needs. Stay within their budget, but re-earmark it to a different use.
Thank you for that clarification. Ms. Gray, where do you stand on this issue?
I think the best way that we can help our young people today is to keep our law enforcement strong. I stand on that. I've been endorsed by the Bakersfield Police Association. I've been endorsed by the Firefighters Association. We need these first responders out there taking care of our citizens. When you see what's happened in Portland, Seattle, New York City, Kenosha, it's because they had a weak city council and they had weak mayors that allowed all of this burning and looting to take place. I am going to stand for strong law enforcement. I don't want to see us take a penny away from the police department or the fire department. Extremely important that we keep things intact. And I think that the city of Bakersfield has done a very good job of holding it together. When we have had some protests, they knocked it down really quick. So I'm very grateful for that.
All right, Ms. Crane. Dr. Tatum, we're running out of time here. So just your stance on the issue of
definitely do not defund the police. I support it as a man of God, Romans 13 chapter. What I do see that we need to do is to try to empower them with information. And if they don't know the history of a certain community, community policing, understanding the culture, and then they have a ways to go. They need to understand who they're policing.
All right, Mr. Stevens, final word on this topic.
At no point do I feel like we should defund the police. Like I said, I grew up when my police station was shut down. It took 4 hours to get a call to the house. Right now, as the police are so stretched right now, if anything happens to you, you have to fill out a report online. You can't even get a cop to come do a report. You have to do it online. So I feel like when you talk about reallocating funds that the police already have, we have so many programs for the African American community. I've been used to DARE program. I was at the kids shelter. I got the free food. I got food stamps. I was a part of every program, every incentive. So you're telling me that over these 40 years, none of these programs work. So what I say is we need an audit of the programs. Instead of talking about taking money from the police, let's audit all the programs that over 30 years that we've been fighting for funding for and see where the money is actually going and why are they falling short in helping us get out of the community.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Stevens. All right, we're running over, but we do have to give each of the candidates here 30 seconds for closing statements. And let me start with you, Gregory Tatum, your closing statement, 30 seconds, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time for the 6th Ward listening to my plea to allow me to be your next city council. It will be a historic situation for a veteran, and I will thank you so much and for your support. But most of all, in closing, I just want you to understand that it's going to take a special person with special skills to deal with what we're facing with in Bakersfield, and it's going to take a United States veteran, one that has been overseas, have seen the falling of the Berlin Wall, and have seen diversity.
All right, Patty Gray, your closing statement, please, ma'am.
Well, I would hope by now, just a little snippet of information that you've gotten from each one of us, that you feel like you know us a little bit better, my morals, my business experience, and my motivation. As I've walked and gone door to door talking to different constituents, they're telling me the same thing. We're in line with one another. We want to keep our police and fire funded. We want to have streets that are well maintained, and we want to get people back to work. People are tired of being out of work, and they want to get their children back in school. So I would hope that you would support me as a councilwoman for Bakersfield City Council. Thank you.
All right, Titus Stevens, 30 seconds. Closing statement, please.
Well, let me start off by saying we have a fine panel of candidates up here, and I frankly think I'm the best one, but you're supposed to. Anyway, I've been out there, I've been knocking on doors, I've been talking to people, doing pop-up campaigning. I know exactly what the issues in my ward are, okay? I talked to people. Graffiti was an issue. Ms. Sullivan stamped that out. I think she did a great job. If you look at my ward, it's growing exponentially with housing, with commercial property, and you had to build around all these lakes. I think together we can make and keep Bakersfield a great place to live. Thank you for hearing us out.
All right, and Jesse Quijada, you have the last word, sir.
Thank you. I want to thank Jim and Eitan for having us on this evening, as well as the other candidates for joining us to give the voters of the 6th Ward a greater in-depth conversation of who we are and what our vision is for the city of Bakersfield. You know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, when voters get their ballots, it's going to be simply who is going to best represent me and the future of the city. And I think together that we can push Bakersfield to be a great city and to put it on a better path forward. And between my experience and knowledge firsthand, I believe that I am the best candidate to put the city on a better path forward. Thank you.
All right, candidates, we are fresh out of time. Patty Gray, Jesse Quijada, Titus Stevens, and Gregory Tatum, we want to thank you for your time, and we wish you well in your respective campaigns.
Thank you.
And we would also like to thank the viewers for taking time to hear about the candidates this evening. A reminder, Election Day is November 3rd. Hope you got an idea tonight. All right, for all of us at 17 News, that's Jim Scott. I'm Eitan Wallace. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.
Good night.